Thank y'all. Since we do have three of us, I'm going to go ahead and start public forum. It's 4:38.
Good afternoon. My name's Dianne Krumel. As many of you know me, I'm a lifelong resident here in Escambia County, president of the Democratic Women's Club. And I'm here in regards to the way the vote went down for the Wedgewood neighborhood and the dump. And first of all, I want to recognize and thank Commissioner Lumon May and Commissioner Stephen Berry for standing up and doing the right thing for our community. We will remember you. We will not forget you when it comes time for election. We will not. But I just had to ask myself, how did this vote come down? And I was not able to attend the meetings. I was out of town, so I tried to catch up on things. And from my understanding, the vote didn't happen last time. It did happen last time. But Wilson Robertson and Gene Valentino had pretty much already made up their mind, and that they were going to vote in favor of expanding the dump, and that we already know how Commissioner Berry and Commissioner May felt about it. So it basically came down to one vote, and that was Grover Robinson. And I for the life of me, sat there and watched the video and cannot even believe that you voted to expand the dump. I just don't understand it.
I didn't vote to expand a dump. I voted to allow the expansion of a borough pit.
Well, you know what? Excuse me, can I speak, Mr.
Mr. Chairman, can I have the floor? Because I want to make sure whatever we get done is correct. Debate does not happen if it becomes political and certain people have certain interests of certain candidates that are moving forward. That doesn't help this community. The community will only be done when there is honest debate, and you need to be honest in what you say.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. You can call it whatever you want. I call it expanding the dump, okay? But I just want to say that, you know, but please, Grover, let me finish. You know, so it's my understanding that we all knew, Valentino, Commissioner Valentino's not here, Commissioner Robertson's here, we knew how they stood. And so, you know what, it comes down, I'm like, are you kidding me? Grover Robinson, he's my county commissioner. He represents the people here in Escambia County, the citizens. You know, and yes, this is not his district, and you are in my district, but you represent everybody in Escambia County. And I just can't understand how this happened. So I'm thinking like, wow. I'm thinking to myself, why would this happen? Why would these three county commissioners that are supposed to work for the citizens of Escambia County vote this way? And I came to the conclusion there's two things. One of them is that you have no heart, you have no soul, you have no compassion, no empathy for the citizens that live in these neighborhoods. And that brings me to my other thought, the other reason. Why would they do this? The other reason I came up with is money. Money. It's always about money. And I'm just questioning if you guys, I don't know, if you have some kind of ties to the dumps, why would you do this? Why? I mean, you know, let's face it, Escambia County's got a reputation. Escambia County has a reputation for the good old boys, you know, and I just don't get it. So if it's not in your backyard, it's in Lumon's backyard, it's not, but I guarantee it, if it was in your backyards, that this wouldn't be happening. And you know what? And I want to say, I'm thinking, I wish I'd have worn orange. I forgot, but I wore blue. But I should really have an orange shirt on. But you know what? I'm gonna encourage and hope that they continue on with their lawsuit, because you know what? The facts are going to come out. They're going to hire their own. They're going to hire their own investigators to investigate, to see why on God's earth you guys voted this way, to find out, you know, what exactly is going on here. The testing, the water testing, we'll get, if they hire their own attorney and they move forward, they're going to do their own testings and they'll have their own results. And Grover, I know, I just know that we've had issues before. You and I have personal issues before. And I stood up here and I preached about the trees, the destruction of the trees, and I didn't give you a hall pass. I know you think a lot of people are going to give you a hall pass on that, but this brings me to this vote. You're not going to get a hall pass on these citizens here. You know what? Because you deliberately sat there and strategically voted to expand the dump. Call it whatever you want. And I just want to come out here and say that, you know, that the county commission is supposed to work for all of Escambia County, not just your districts. So all I can say is, hey, election time is coming up. There's elections coming up, and I know that Grover Robinson and Gene Valentino, the empty seat here, I know he's up for re-election, but you know what? We know how you voted. You think we're going to forget this? We're not. We're not going to forget where you stood, that you stood on the side of big business and the polluters, and that you did not stand up for the citizens of Escambia County.
Commissioner Robinson.
I'd like to say something. Grandstanding don't get you anywhere, and I don't think Ms. Krumel has a thing in the world to do other than just grandstand. And when she starts blaming Grover for the old trees, I can understand that because it was out in his district. But I don't care what you say. I'm not running for re-election. I live, Ms. Krumel. But when you start saying we don't have a heart and a soul, you're getting a little bit too low for me. Let me tell you, now I'm speaking now. You don't try to get the floor. Let me tell you something. I live probably as close to one of the worst C&D pits in the county. I live probably as close to the one on Blossom Trail as anybody out here lives around any landfill. A C&D. It is absolutely been under investigation. It's been out from under the permitting process according to DEP. It's been something that I, for 6 years, have been looking into because it's right next to my subdivision and it's in these neighborhoods that these people live in, and it's in Commissioner May's district. I will stand up with him just as much in any of those. But when you start saying a borrow pit is just as bad as a C&D pit, you don't even know what you're talking about.
You know what? Excuse me. Excuse me. There's going to be a pit, and they're going to just add to the ordinance.
I'm going to call this to order, and I'm going to call my next speaker, Sherry
Well, wait
Snyder.
a minute. Now, I've got the floor, Mr. Chairman. You're not going to stop me.
Well,
Ms. Krumel, you cannot get up here and debate the county commission.
I'm going to get a point of order in this meeting, and I'm going to stop anybody just talking because I'm the chair, and then we will proceed in an orderly and a fashionable manner. And so, Ms. Krumel, your time is up, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Your time is up. Your time is up.
Now, Mr. Chairman, can I have the floor again?
You can have the floor at this point.
All I want to know is why did you read the statement in the beginning of the meeting if you're not going to uphold the statement you read? Name calling, no soul, no conscience. That kind of stuff you said in the beginning you wouldn't allow. And you sat here and let her do that.
Well, hold on, Wilson. Let me straighten you now. Let's be clear. Okay, I wasn't even in here when the meeting started. So now if you want to say that, say it to Commissioner Barrett because he must have read it. So now what I'm going to do is call a point of order and call for the next speaker, Ms. Sherry Snyder.
Mr. Chairman,
Call a point of order in this meeting right now and tell the parliamentary procedures that I can. Sherry Snyder.
Mr. Chairman, I haven't had a chance to respond.
You can speak if we're going to be in a fashionable manner, but I held up on you. You want to make a statement? We got 15 minutes before the meeting starts.
I would.
Well, make your statement, and then Ms. Snyder, you stand right there.
Go ahead. Are you going to let him speak? Or
you want to speak?
Go ahead.
I would like to speak to the last statement and the issue that has come before us. I think it's. I look at Mr. Gary Sansing, who does a great job and talks about what public forum means. And I think it is a great opportunity for the community to have the chance to vet these issues and discuss them. But when we begin to politicize, we don't need more of Washington in Pensacola. That's not what we need. If we're going to get stuff done, we don't need more politicization. This is about dealing with problems. You want to talk about, and I can't believe Dianne Krumel came up here where she lives, because I know where she lives. If she knew anything about borrow pits, she would know that I live less than a quarter mile from the largest borrow pit within the city of Pensacola. It is in my neighborhood. I don't think my neighborhood is a white neighborhood, black neighborhood, whatever neighborhood. It's in a neighborhood on the east side of town in District 4. It is the single largest borrow pit that is there. It is operated by the city of Pensacola, and it is within a quarter mile of my residence. At the end of the day, I bet most of you who drove here, you either walked on a sidewalk, you drove on a road, you did something to get here. You're sitting in a building with a foundation. All of those things need clay. Clay is incredibly important to what happens all the buildings we do. The mining and extraction of a borrow pit, as I've said before, is totally different than the issue of dealing with the C&D. Every vote that has been taken as a C&D, this board has supported. It was Escambia County that went out and dealt with the issue of the air quality. It was not DEP. It was not some other agency. I've supported the chairman, and I support the neighborhood in dealing with the issues of C&D pits. But the issue of a borrow pit is totally opposite. And to say that they are not, they're in every neighborhood in Escambia County. And they're less than a quarter mile from my neighborhood is the largest one in this city. So again, let's quit playing politics and start being civil about the discussion and the debate about what we're doing. Let's don't get drawn off into things that don't matter, and the issue of extraction of clay is not the issue here. The issue is what deals with C&D pits and what we're doing. And the polluters that are doing it, this board has absolutely said go after. That's fine. So again, that's my position on this, and I've said it from the very beginning. But I do realize there's an election, and unfortunately certain people have certain axes to grind, but that's inappropriate. That's not what public forum is supposed to be about.